Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and today's video is going to be a solo playthrough of Sleeping Gods. This is part of my first season of my Sleeping Gods full campaign playthrough. This is episode 5, and it'll be the conclusion of Act 2. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I am ready to play my next episode here in my Sleeping Gods series. This is, again, Season 1, Episode 5. So if you're just joining me, I recommend you go to my Sleeping Gods playlist, found right here, and start from the beginning. Otherwise, I think I will start with a quick recap, because while these videos have been coming out weekly, the first 4 episodes I shot in the same week, and then it's been almost 3 weeks since I've played, because in the intervening time, I needed to film and edit and release videos for Vantage and Leaping Lions and Spirit Island, and I did 3 Nemesis Retaliation videos. I did a couple Tricarian Rules videos and a solo playthrough. So it's been a little busy, but I just edited last night in real time the last episode, episode 4. So that was kind of a good recap for me on what's going on. And I noticed a few things that I had forgotten that I had equipped. So that's why I want to take a quick look at it. So we've got, of course, Audrey's level card. This cleaning ability here doesn't do anything, but I forgot about special recipe. Luckily, it didn't have any effect on the game, the fact that I forgot about it, but it says, when you cook a recipe, also restore 1 health. So that is super powerful compared, or not compared, but paired with Marco's Baker level card there, that when any player cooks a recipe, restore 1 extra health. So with those 2 cards, every time I cook a recipe, say that it's grilled fish, since that's what I've been cooking, that tends to do 3 health, I add 2 more health to it, so that's 4 or 5. And then with this outdoor cooking gear, if I happen to be exploring, that's another 2 health. So I can heal 7 health in a go. And it just so happens I've got 7 damage. So that's something that I might want to do before too long. And then I forgot that I had lessons equipped here. I haven't been making use of that. That's at the start of each turn. Remove any command tokens on this crew member, so on Gregory. So I haven't made much use of that yet. Also, I had forgotten this forked whip weapon that I equipped to Gregory. It allows you to place damage diagonally. So that's potentially huge, and I just forgot that I had that at all. I forgot I had that ability. It's just kind of written right there in the little text below the icon. So I had forgotten that. I want to make use of it. So those are a few things that I forgot. But story-wise, in the last episode, I took care of that cat statue. It drove a couple of my crew members mad, what with the giant haul of meowing cat statues, but it did get me a totem, so I guess it was worth it. And then Audrey took the ship over to some island because the god Mikra had called her over, and Mikra wanted us to go find her seashell necklace. So that's what brought us back over here to the Zakura trading post, and we came up here to find some pan traders. And if you hadn't caught on by now, there's like a number of different humanoid type creatures in this world. The pan are some of them. So you've got this pan shield here. It's Pann. And I don't remember much about the pan, but I know they're kind of bluish. There are also the Lucrins. I don't remember much about them either, but we've got this Lucrin steam engine. They're some kind of engineers or something. There's the Mythans, like we've got this Mythan axe. They're the like the bull-headed people. They attacked us early on. So there's a number of different types of beings populating this world. And anyway, we found these pan traders. They had the necklace. We tried to get them to give it to us, and they were not interested in helping, so we fought them and took it, and they were, none too pleased with that. But that was a totem as well. That is this one here, Stone of the Mind. So that's where we left off. That was the last thing we did, and now we're on the third part of Act 2 with this deadly event deck. So we're going to go through that today and finish out Act 2. And my plan is to sail east from here again. I want to do this Temple of the Square today and figure out what's going on there. I didn't really have any interest in Freighter or Cap, but those are the ongoing missions we still have. On top of that, that top row of those quest cards are just the keywords that we need to remember, and I put them in alphabetical order. Rearranged all my adventure cards, so I've got sort of all my recipes and cooking related stuff here. This is sort of my utility type stuff, and then these are for travel specifically. This is more combat related, and these are all also combat, but accuracy. And last couple of reminders, a few things I forgot. When I go to, these are all due to level cards. When I go to sick bay on the ship, then I can heal 2 health as long as one of them is not Gregory. When I go to the bridge, I gain an additional command token. And when I explore, this one's huge. When I explore, I gain 1 command token. And I've also got 6 XP, which is enough to get my the level card that I want for Captain Odessa, which would allow you to gain command tokens whenever combat starts. So I'm wanting to do that as well. So I think what I'm going to do in this episode, or at least at the beginning, is I'm going to try and sail east, as I said, come over here to 98 and do this Temple of the Square, figure out whatever's going on there. And then I got to go back and check my notes. The square, I think this ends over a Blood Rock. It might be Eye of the Rock, but I think it's Blood Rock. I'll go back and take a look. But after we do that, I think we'll finish up that mission. In either case, it'll bring us to a port. So that's where I'll use the XP on Captain Odessa. And then I don't know what I'm going to do the rest of this episode, but I've got some big plans for Act 3. I've made some decisions on some stuff I'm going to do, so stick around. And as always, if that all sounds pretty good to you, then leave a like on this video, would you? Consider subscribing if you haven't done so yet, just so you don't miss any future content. Maybe share this with somebody else. All that stuff is appreciated, and I will thank my coffee supporters specifically at the end of the video. So let's get started now with turn 1, and that starts with a ship action, and I think I'm almost certainly going to the bridge, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 command tokens I could clear. I would like to get 3 command tokens using the Roz ability. I've got another command token over here too, but specifically I want to clear this one off the Elzarian cookbook, and I want to clear this one off Marco as well, because he's the only one who can take care of madness, and I've got 2 crew members with madness, so I need to start working on that. So yeah, let's go to the bridge. Let's remove all spent command tokens. I don't think I'm missing any others. Okay, and then I gain 2 plus 1, so I gain 3, which means I have 4 total command tokens. And I'm going to spend 1 right away on Marco. We got to start working on this madness. So I need to pay 1 food. And I think I'm going to make it one of these vegetables. So now I can remove a madness and gain 1 health. So I'm going to remove this madness from Mac and gain a health to Kasumi. And I'm not sure I want to do anything else or not. I'm thinking still about using this first aid kit. I was thinking about this at the end of the last video too, to remove the weakness from Raphael, and then I can gain 1 health as well. I don't desperately need the health. I'd probably take that on Kasumi too. But I'm actually not all that worried about health. I'm more wanting to clear fatigue. I think there was an item early on in the markets. I think it was some sort of tea that let me just spend a command to clear fatigue, and I kind of wish I had that now. There's some stuff that I bought that, in retrospect, I don't know why I bought it. Well, maybe that's a bit harsh, but I've got a fair amount of recipes, and I'm really relying mostly on grilled fish. I was kind of regretting porridge a little bit, but that might actually be useful. I might actually use that this time. So, okay. I still need to draw an ability card. And this one is a number 4. This has a perception on it. Costs 2 command to equip. It's called Careful Aim. It says take 1 extra damage when hit by an enemy counterattack. Oh, well, that's not good, but it gains you plus one accuracy. So this is the 3rd ability card I have in hand. And I mean, that's good to have. These are dodge and careful aim are both good to have to discard for dealing with challenges, especially dodge, because my cunning is not something I've done anything about so far. But now it is time for our first event of the video. These are the deadly events. If I've done this right, there should be 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think I counted them out when I made the deck, but just checking. Make sure I reset it up correctly. All right, let's check out this first event. This is Giant Turtle. That doesn't sound deadly yet. And it reads, an Archelon head emerges from the choppy water. And I did not know what Archelon was. I just looked it up. Apparently that was the largest turtle that ever lived. It was from the late Cretaceous, so it's like dinosaur turtle. So, okay, giant dinosaur turtle head emerges from the choppy water. So we can try and avoid the turtle, and that's just 2 ship damage. Don't really love that. Or attack the turtle! Exclamation point. Strength test of 8. If we fail, we lose 5 health. Man. And then we gain 1 meat. I guess I'm going to do the strength test, but I'm not excited about guaranteed 2 ship damage, and I don't love possibly losing 5 health either, although recipes can go a long way in that regard. Ooh, but if I am going to fatigue some crew members to participate in the strength challenge, they're the ones who are going to take the damage. So that's something I need to consider. Because for a strength test, I would definitely use Marco. That would get me 3 strength, but the test is 8. That's pretty high. Oh, but I do have those nightmare gloves too. So that could get me... Nightmare Gloves plus Marco gets me to 6. I would only have to draw a 2. If I happen to draw 1, I can discard this Rapid Strike, but it's a fate card with number 2, so I'd rather equip it. Okay, we'll do the test. I will fatigue Marco. We draw for fate. We draw a 2. Okay, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm 3 short. So I'll use my Nightmare Gloves to get to 8. To pass the test, I'm going to gain a low morale. And because the low morale came from the gloves, I can put it on anyone. So how about Raphael? He's looking like he could take some tokens right now. That's fine. I don't mind having the 1 low morale because the grilled fish takes care of a low morale and I almost never get my use out of it. So fine. So now I've passed the test, I gain 1 meat. And so that's good because with the Elzarian cookbook, I can use the 1 meat to do the grilled fish. So that'll pay for itself. That's it for the first event. At least it's not ongoing like Nesting Monster. So now I can start to take actions. And the first thing I'm going to do is travel. That'll be my first action. How far am I trying to go from here? I'm trying to go 1 and then cross the pages 2, 3. I only need to go 3 distance. There is a hazard in the way. So with Audrey's level card, if I travel 9 or higher, then I can ignore the hazard. But I only need to go 3 distance to get to where I'm going, which would be a 7 or higher. So let's see. For my travel, I need to take this craft challenge. I'm going to fatigue Audrey. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4 craft, plus 2 from the level card. So we're at 6. We want to get to 9. But I've only got 2 command. I'd like to use that command for other stuff if I can. So I'm just going to hope that I draw high enough. What did I say I'm at? I'm at 6. So I want to draw 3 or higher. And we get a 2. Man, okay. It's the other copy of this Rapid Strike here. So I can travel 3 distance, but I can't ignore the hazard. So distance 1. It's going to be here, and there's a savvy test. Man, my fatigue is really getting out of control, but I'm going to fatigue Gregory to do the savvy test. So he's got 3 savvy. It's a savvy test of 5, and we get a 3. Okay, so we get 6. So no boat damage. That was 1 movement. 2 is going to be across the page here to here, and then 3 will be here. And now I am in this location here where I can explore 98. I'm pretty sure that's the Temple of the Square, which as a reminder, that says, after studying the wall carvings in Blood Rock, okay, so it is Blood Rock we need to go to, we learned the location of a hidden temple on a small island to the west. So that's it for our travel action. Action number 2 is going to be explore. So taking an explore action, we're going to explore 98. And now that I am exploring, before I even open the book, I'm going to spend a command on the Elzarian cookbook, and I'm going to cook porridge. So that'll give me a one ingredient discount. So I can make, that costs normally 2 grain, so I'm only going to spend my 1 grain. Now I can remove 3 fatigue. So let's take 1 off Audrey, 1 off Gregory, and let's take 1 off Marco as well, because those are the 3 who I probably need for strength test, savvy test, and Audrey, of course, helps me travel. And then I can recover 2 health, plus I'm exploring, so another 2. So 4 health, plus 5 health, 6 health. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So all my health is recovered. And the reason I went with the porridge instead of the grilled fish is because I still have a vegetable and a meat left over and a command. I technically have the option while I'm exploring. I can place, instead of using the Elzarian cookbook, I can place the command directly on grilled fish, spend the 2 resources, and then get another 3 command plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 health. my health is all full, but I can get, if I need to, I can do another 3 fatigue off of there and the low morale. So I still have the option to do that. If I had done that first, I would only have 1 grain left and I would not have the option to do porridge if I wanted to. So I'm just trying to keep some options open. And Raphael's already so loaded up that like just removing the low morale by itself is not going to be that big of a benefit. So this location in the storybook reads, you land at a wide staircase cut into the crispy, sunset-colored rock. At the top, a shallow chamber gives respite from the sun's tireless wrath, though you step inside with trepidation. Who made this place, and does anyone still live here? So we have 3 options. We can give the crew some needed rest, we can leave this place, just gain the materials and return to the ship, or use the petroglyph sketch to find the hidden door. This requires keyword square, which of course we have. That is what led us here. So let's do that. We'll use our petroglyph sketch to find the hidden door. So this now reads, you stand in the entry chamber. To the left, a corridor leads into a dark room. To your right, there's a crumbling hole in the floor. Take the corridor to the left, or explore the hole in the floor, which is a perception test of 7. And I think we're going to explore the hole in the floor because that's the only one with a test, and that tells me that maybe you get something better if you do that. So I do notice that I've got 1 card in hand with perception. I've got 1 command. I can activate these Lucran goggles to get a couple perception if I need it. It's all fatigue, Kasumi, and do I want to fatigue Mac too? I never use her. This is 2 perception. Nobody else has more than 1 perception. I think I should be fine with just Kasumi. All right. As long as I don't draw 1, I think I'm okay. So it's a test of 7. We're at 2. We draw 3, so that gets us up to 5 perception. So spending this would only get me to 6. I'm going to have to activate the goggles. So there goes my last command. I'll use the goggles. That gets me to 7 perception. And so now I turn to another section. We've explored the hole in the chamber floor. So this reads, within the chamber are a few broken jars and statues, but nothing interests you until you notice that the cobbled floor is an intricate mosaic. Kasumi lights her lamp and makes a sketch before returning to the chamber. Interesting. So we gain adventure card 53. And I don't think I've showed this yet on the channel, just this cool magnetic little treasure box with all the cards in it. So adventure card 53, I said. They're all just, in numerical order. There it is, 53. So that's got all the adventure cards and quest cards. That's pretty cool. And let's take a look. This is sketch of the floor. This is a sketch of the floor pattern. Okay, I'm going to just leave this here in front so I can sort of look at it because I don't know if this is just a thematic, like, hey, here's a sketch, or if I really need to study this in detail, we might need to look at it. But now that we've got this, we've only got 2 options. We can return to the ship, or we can go back down that dark corridor to the left. So let's go down the dark corridor. And this tells us, your torch reveals geometric carvings on the wall, and in the center of the floor, a stone disc with a pointer like an ancient clock. Around the edge of the disc, there are symbols of a flame, a fish, and an egg. The dial is loose, and with some effort, you could turn it so that it pointed at one of the symbols. So we have 4 options: point the dial to the flame, point the dial to the fish, point the dial to the egg, or return to the entry chamber. And if we return to the entry chamber, there's going to be nothing else for us to do because we've already explored the hole. So we got to pick either the flame, the fish, or the egg. And so if I look at this sketch of the floor, you know what? I think that in the middle kind of looks like a fish. Sort of got to squint at it, but it certainly looks more like a fish than a flame or an egg to me. So I'm going to point the dial to the fish and turn to that section. So this new section reads, a hidden door opens, revealing a deep chasm. At the far edge of the chasm, you make out a passage lined with statues. Oh man, I hope they're not cats again. There's no way across, Audrey asks, peering over the edge. We'll have to jump over the chasm, says Kasumi. Or fashion a bridge, Mac offers. So to make a bridge to cross the chasm is a craft test of 7, and if we fail, we lose 4 health and gain a low morale. The other option is to jump across. That is a strength test of 6, so a little bit lower threshold, but if we fail, we lose 7 health. So craft is a bigger test, craft test of 7 or strength test of 6, but the results are minus 4 health and a low morale or minus 7 health. And if I do the craft test, I can use Audrey and start at 4, or I can use Marco for the strength test and start at 3. And this is this one easier test. So it really doesn't matter. I have no command. I can't mitigate anything in any way. Oh, but that's not totally true because I have engaged. Gain 1 command when you explore. I get 1 command. I have 1 command. Okay. So if things are real bad, I can do like a redraw, for example. Or I still have the option to make the grilled fish. Okay, that is helpful to have that command. So which test am I going to do then? I think I'm actually going to go with the strength test because I don't want to fatigue Audrey, because after this is done, I'm going to want to sail over to Blood Rock and I will want to fatigue Audrey for that, and she's already got a fatigue. So okay, strength test of 6. This gets me to 3. And you know what? I'm going to include Kanan too. So that'll get me to 4. And because of his madness, when he participates in a challenge, he loses 1 health. But I'm doing really good on health right now. So, all right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 strength. I need to get to 6. Let's draw. I draw a 3. All right, so I've got enough strength. So that means I successfully jump across the chasm. So let's find out what happens now. A stone cow sits proudly surrounded by tiny rays of sunlight that spill through cracks in the walls. A few trinkets rest in an offering bowl near the cow's mouth. I don't think we should take any of that, says Audrey, frowning. I don't think he'll mind, says Raphael, chuckling. Among the offerings, you find a clay tablet covered in unfamiliar markings. So first we gain 6 coins. Wow, that's a lot of coins. I have 4 coins already, so 6 would make it 10 in total. So now I've got 10 coins. Guess who's going to the market? And we get 3 XP. Wow. So I'm already at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Awesome. That is a lot of XP. And we complete quest 38, square, and gain quest 39. So let's complete this one first. Here's our used quests. 38. Try and keep them in order because even though you don't need them again at the end of this campaign, you got to put them all away. And you want to put them back, in order. Oop, I left one in the box. Raid. Quest 1. All right, completed quests. We're doing all right. I feel like I usually have more, but I'm not sure of that. Now we gain quest 39. So this is ongoing keyword tablet, tablet of the square. In the temple of the square, we found a tablet covered in strange markings. Max says that she saw similar markings on the walls in Eye of the Rock. Ooh, so maybe we have to go to Eye of the Rock. Maybe we picked up that first clue in Blood Rock, and now we need to come back to finish it in Eye of the Rock. That kind of sounds familiar to me, and maybe that's why I couldn't remember where I needed to go next. So I think we're going to go to Eye of the Rock and complete this. Okay, and then we'll just take this sketch on the floor and put it here. We probably won't ever need that again. Just a nice sketch that we have. And so now we are to return to the ship, and the only question is, before I end this exploration action, do I want to spend 1 command and maybe use a recipe? And the health part would be totally wasted. It's just a matter of the fatigue. Everybody's real fatigued, which is honestly a better place to be. That's kind of where I want to get to is worrying about fatigue more so than health. But is it worth it to me to spend a command, a vegetable, and a meat to remove 3 fatigue and a low morale? Because I also intend to go to Eye of the Rock now, and I want to take a port action so that I could level up Captain Odessa. I want to get that level card, and if I do that, if I'm already at the port, I could spend 4 coins at the inn and just remove 1 fatigue from every character, and that might be worth it. That would take care of 7 fatigue. And I guess the other way I have of getting rid of fatigue is to start using the galley, since it doesn't look like I need sickbay right now, but the galley does have a monster in it, so I would have to, fight that off first. So, things to think about. I don't think I'm going to spend any command right now. So that is the end of the Explorer action, so that means it's the end of turn 1, and we're going into turn 2, which starts with the ship action. And, rather than go to sickbay, I've been in the sickbay and bridge loop, I think I'm going to go to the quarters. I think that is going to be useful right now. So I'm going to remove just 2 command tokens. So I'm going to remove this one from the Elzarian Cookbook and this one from Marco. Nope, I don't gain those. And then I gain 3 command. So I do get these 2 plus 1 more. So this could allow me now, this has cleared up Marco. Now I could get rid of that other madness, which might be nice. Start taking care of these status tokens. But I would also like to equip this Rapid Strike. It'd be very helpful to just have that on Marco. So that's a couple command tokens as well. All right, so I've I've cleared 2 command tokens, gained 3, and I get to draw an ability card. Ooh, this one is a 6. So now I've got to discard something, and it will be the 6. I want to keep that in the deck. Okie doke. So now it's time for an event. Do I want to do anything before the event as far as my command tokens go? And I'm going to say yes. I will go ahead and equip this now. So I've got 4 command. Let's do it before I commit the command to something else. I'm going to put one more ability card on Marco. So this is Rapid Strike. Even if this crew member misses, they deal damage first. Sure. I don't really use Marco for attacking, but that's okay. So I've spent my 2 command. Now he's got a lot of strength. As a reminder, you can only have 2 ability cards equipped, but you can have level cards are not included in that. So that's why he's got 3 cards here, just like Audrey. So now let's draw this deadly event. This is spider webs. I don't like that. You woke up to find the ship covered in thick spider webs, making it difficult to get anything done. Ongoing. Gain 1 fewer command token each time you take a ship action. Discard this card when you reach the end of the event deck. Oh no. Or, as an action, you can perform a Strength 9 challenge. If you succeed, discard this card. If you fail, gain a Venom. Oh man. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna be ongoing for a while, huh? At least that one has an end. This nesting monster does not have an end. That is like perpetual. Spiderwebs is just through the rest of this event deck, which is, the rest of this video. So I'm still not happy about it. That's 4 command that I'm going to miss out on, which is a lot of command. Okay, well, that's the event. I can start taking actions. It would feel like kind of burning this whole round, but I could just do these 2 tests and try and clear those 2 cards. Then again, they're both strength tests of 7 and 9. That is a lot of tests and a lot of strength, I should say. So I think the first thing I need to do is just get to Eye of the Rock. I think I'm going to travel. So it's a distance of 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. In either case, it's 3, but I want to go around this way to avoid this hazard. I can't avoid the hazard that's here, so that's going to be a savvy test of 5. So I've got some more fatigue I'm likely going to take. So I'm going to travel, and then do I want to do the port action? Or no, I probably want to explore and do 90 and figure out what to do with tablet before I take the port action, I'm guessing. Although, no, maybe it'd be better to do the port first, because I can spend 4 coins at the inn and clear a bunch of fatigue. That would be good. I can repair 1 damage to the ship, sure, and spend some XP. I don't need to go to the healer. And then I can explore Eye of the Rock, do the tablet thing, and if I gain any coins doing that, then I can hit the market before I leave. So that seems like a plan. And even if I don't get any coins doing that, I should still have 6 coins. It might still be worth it to go to the market. I don't know, but maybe not. Maybe I save it. So yeah, I think I'm just going to travel and go to the port. That's my plan for this turn. So let's start with travel, and I think we're going to fatigue Audrey again. It's her second fatigue, but now we start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 craft, and I'm going to draw 7, 8, 9. Okay, great. We've got 9 craft for our craft challenge for travel, so that means we can go up to 4 spaces and ignore the hazards with that level card. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 spaces, and we don't have to take this savvy test. So that was action 1, and action 2 will be the port action. So I will go to the inn for, I think, the first time in this playthrough. That costs 4 coins. And now each crew member removes 1 fatigue and gains up to 2 health. So the fatigue is the big one, of course. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fatigue and a health. I think that was worth it. That was definitely worth it. So now I'm going to hit the shipyard. I've got a material. I'm going to spend it to repair 1 damage on the ship. And do I want to repair the quarters or the galley, you think? What location numbers are these? The galley is 4 and the quarters are 5. So they're both going to be in the deck. Like if there was what's locations 1 and 2? The hull is 1. What is 2? Is that the deck. Like those are the cards I'm removing from this deck, so they're less likely to get drawn if we have to draw for ship damage. 4 and 5 are probably equally likely. Let's repair I don't know if it really matters. Since we're on the quarters, let's repair the quarters. It's unknown if I'm going to get this monster out of the galley or not, so we'll let that one remain damaged for the time being. And we're not going to go to the healer, but I am going to spend XP. And I have 9 to spend, which I think that means I can get any card in the deck. Yeah, I'm seeing some 7s, nothing higher than 7. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. I know intent here is to get Plan Ahead for Captain Odessa, 6 XP, gain 2 command at the start of combat. The other one I really want is Kanan's Crack Shot, which should give him +2 accuracy with his starting weapon. The only other thought I have is there anything that's 3 that I can just get now? For Kasumi, I could get Counter. If Kasumi misses, +1 damage. What else? You can do 2 damage on a miss. Marco has Inventive Chef. When any player cooks a recipe, they may substitute one ingredient for another. It's not too bad. Those are the only 2 I can afford right now with Captain Odessa's upgrade. No, I'm just gonna get Plan Ahead and save my XP, and that gets me a little bit closer to Crack Shot. Okay, so I need to spend 6. So we fill these in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 3 remaining. Okay, feel pretty good about that. Now the captain has a cunning upgrade. So I've got at least one person who can do two cunning skills. So that's something. But now we gain 1 command at the start of combat. So that's pretty nice. Oops, at some point I've capsized my ship on the rocks here. That was an accident. Okay, so I've taken the port action. That was my second action. That's the end of that turn. But I think that was a pretty good turn, minus this terrible event that I just picked up. Spiderwebs, man, oh man. Oh, I never, before this turn technically ends, I never used Marco the second time to get rid of the madness on Kanan, but I don't think that madness is really hurting me much right now because I'm unlikely to use him in many skill challenges, especially with all the fatigue mostly cleared away. And even if I do, this ability is, you got to pay a command and a food to remove a madness and gain 1 health, and nobody has any health damage. So it might be better to just wait to clear the madness until I've got at least 1 health point to regenerate. Plus, with these stupid spider webs now, command tokens are going to be in a shorter supply. So let's just start the next round, and it starts with a ship action. I don't need to go to sick bay. I don't think it makes sense for me to go to the galley. So I can go to the bridge. That's not super strong right now, though. The other option is I could go to the ship, or not. I'm reading ship action. I could go to the deck and do a search action because I still have a couple more of those tokens set up, so I know that I would get some food if I do that. I don't have like a lot of command that I need to clear right now. I think it's just this one on the Lucran goggles. So I would only gain 1 command instead of 2 because of spider webs, but then I would also gain a food. And I think now's as good a time as any to do that. Let's go to the deck. So I gain 1 command right here and do the search action. I'm only going to draw 1 token. Oh, look, 2 vegetables. I'll take it. Okay. And honestly, it's better than I thought. I thought it was going to be 1. So great. 2 vegetables is awesome to have. I got a command, and now it's time to draw a deadly event. This one is Cryvern Attack. A huge Cryvern swoops down upon the ship. You know what? We've seen this one before. There's all the events that we've already gone through. I keep them separate, and we did see Cryvern Attack in Act 1 the first time we went through here. So that's an identical card. I guess it's in there twice. I'm wondering if maybe I got a second copy with Tides of Ruin or something. I don't think I was supposed to remove it. So I think there's just 2 copies of this in the deck, and I just never noticed it before. So, okay, we're getting attacked by the Cryvern again. And so the 2 options are fight it off or outrun it. To fight it off is a strength test of 8. To outrun it is a craft test of 9. If we fail the strength test, then we lose 3 health and take 3 ship damage, which I don't want. I definitely don't want that 3 ship damage. I don't mind the 3 health so much. To outrun it, if we fail, we take 4 ship damage, which is even worse. And then we must move the ship 1 distance, which I don't want to do because I want to be exploring Eye of the Rock this time. And if I move 1 distance, I'll have to waste an action coming back and have to watch out for that hazard. So we're going to do the strength test of 8. Ooh, and looking again, I thought my only command was on Lucran Goggles, but Nightmare Gloves is still covered too, so I don't have access to the 3 strength that could give me, which is really too bad. So strength test of 8, Marco gets me to 4. I think I'd like one more. So if I look around, normally I'd put Raphael on it, but he's got weakness, so he's got -1 to each of his skills, so his 1 becomes 0. That's not helpful. I don't think I want to use Captain Odessa for this, for just the 1. And then Laurent and Gregory each have a strength, but I want to save them for Savvy, which leaves me with poor Kanan, who's got the madness. So once again, I didn't think I was going to use him for a test, but I'm doing it. So 1 fatigue and 1 health loss for maddened Kanan for his 1 strength. So we're up to 5 strength right now. We need to get to 8. Let's draw. We need a 3 or higher. We get a 3. Oh, thank goodness. So we don't lose any health, we don't take any ship damage, and we don't have to move the ship. So that's it. We're past this deadly event. Hopefully we don't get attacked by the Cryvern a 3rd time. And that is weird, though, that event is in there twice, because there's got to be times where people just, you shuffle the deck and you happen to get it twice in a row, and that's pretty odd. But okay, we can start our actions now, and I will start by exploring location 90, Eye of the Rock. So we've been here before. Again, it says if keyword poison, turn to 90.4. We don't have keyword poison, so I'll reread this because it's been a bit. The pier juts out of a cliffside covered in holes the size of houses, some blocked with sun-bleached plank doors or crooked shutters, others piled with stacks of crates. A woman in a straw hat calls out to you. I hope you haven't come empty-handed. She shifts her straw hat and looks you over for valuables. So the options here are to visit the trade office, which costs a coin, visit the local scholar's house, which you have to pay a food, talk to the locals, which I think we've already done. I think that's how we found out about that cat statue that was over by Pig Ribs, was talking to the locals here. Or, and of course we can go to the ship. And the last option is compare the square tablet with the markings on the walls. Requires keyword tablet, which we now have. So to do that is a savvy test of 10. If we fail the test, we get 1 low morale, and then we just we're back here at location 90. So you have to pass the test to continue. So I would like to complete the quest. I don't want to keep taking savvy tests over and over again. So we need to get to 10. Ooh, I don't know where that madness token came from. That was in the wrong baggie. But we're going to put Gregory and Laurent on this for sure. And that gets us to 5 savvy. And we need to get to 10. I'm not going to mess around. Let's go 6, 7. I'm just fatiguing everybody out again, though. That's 7. So I need to draw 3 or higher. And I've got this gear in case I fail. Or just Kasumi's ability if I draw 1. Or somebody else has a redraw. Oh, +1 on Mac for 2 command. Somebody else have a redraw? I thought somebody did. No, I guess not. So where am I at again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't have any savvy here I can discard. So I think I will leave it there at 7. And so that means I'm going to draw, and if I don't get what I want, I will use gear. So I have 2 attempts to draw a 3 or higher. So let's go for it. 7, 8. Oh, it's a 1. Okay, well, since it's a 1, I might as well use Kasumi's ability. We get a 6. Okay, so we pass the test. So now we turn to another passage, and this reads, there's a symbol on each wall tile. You compare them to the tablet and find that only one symbol is missing. When no one is looking, you break through that tile and reach inside. The smell of rot spews out at you, but you fumble around until you find a small stone. So we gain 1 weakened. That's not a very fun prize. Let's see what else we get. Oh, and weakened is -2 to skills. I think I said -1 before. He only had 1, so we can't go negative, but -2. But we also gain adventure card 23 and complete quest 39. So we're done with tablet. That quest line is done, and we've got adventure card 23. This is a totem. Thrak's Charm. This is another one of the sleeping gods. Thrak. We haven't dealt with them yet. But for 1 command, you can gain 4 block, and you also gain a fatigue. That's interesting. Thrak's Charm. So that's another totem. I'll put that over here with sort of combat stuff. And let's cross it off my checklist. Thrax Charm, that is a new one for me. I've not had this before. So we'll add it to the list of new to me totems. Thrax, I wrote Thark. Thrax Charm. Cool. So I'm doing pretty good in this playthrough, going to places I haven't been to before and seeing new things. I'm enjoying that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new to me totems this time. That's fun. That's kind of what I'm trying to do, is explore new stuff. So I'm enjoying it. How'd I tip my boat over again? All right. So somebody's got to take this weekend. Who's that going to be? I hate to pile on, but I think it's going to be Kanan. Kanan and Raphael are like just really getting pummeled. He's got the madness already, so that'll stop me from using him for skill tests, I guess. But I do need to do something about that. But anyway, after that passage, it has us return to 90. Just go back to the town so we can go to the other places in town. There's nothing else I want to do there, so I'm going to return to the ship. And look at this, just like that. I'm up to 8 fatigue again. What is going on? Honestly, I might just go to the port and use the inn again and clear the fatigue out, because that is a real problem. But in the meantime, let's do this. Give me one command for Marco, pay 1 food. I'm going to, pay this vegetable to remove a madness and restore a health. Let's start getting Kanan back to where he needs to be. And then I think I'm going to spend this command too on first aid kit. Again, restore a health, but also remove a weakened. And the health is kind of wasted, but I'm going to take that off Kanan too. All right, so Kanan's looking a bit better. And then I'm out of command tokens. Like I said, I really might go to port. I kind of finished the little quest that I wanted to do now. I have something else I'd like to start, but I think I'm going to wait for Act 3. So I've got a few rounds left here, and I'm trying to figure out what to best do with it. And I kind of feel like I just want to get everybody back to full health or stamina or what have you. Just kind of get everybody in good shape. I want to take care of all these negative tokens and the fatigue if I can. But, I mean, there's always the market. And so, you know what? Here, first, let me rearrange these because it's going to drive me nuts. I got to keep the blocks with the blocks, or I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to go to the port. I am, because last time I went to the port, I spent 4 coins and took off 7 fatigue, recovered 7 fatigue, and I felt like that was worth it. This time I'm going to spend 4 coins for 8 fatigue, so that's got to be even better. So I'm going to port, spending 4 coins. It's fine. We're getting kind of late in the game, not as worried about the market at this point. So spent my 4 coins. Everybody gets a fatigue recovered. And nobody's lost any health, but everybody had a fatigue except Captain Odessa. So now we just cleared it all. And I feel better just looking at that. I don't think there's anything else I'm going to do at the port. In theory, I could spend my last 2 coins to repair the ship 2 more times. Or again, I could spend 3 XP to, I think there was a level card for Kasumi and one for Marco, but I don't know if I need those. But you know what, let me check, because I know I've got 3 XP. What are the icons? So this would be a Savvy for Kasumi. And what would it be for Marco? A craft. I don't know that either of those are that helpful. If it was like a cunning or a perception, I might have done it. But it's good to review the options from time to time. So that's the end of the port action. That's the end of that turn. We're going to start a new turn, starting with the ship action, and I'm going to the bridge. So I can remove the command tokens that are placed everywhere. That's great. So I removed 5. I would gain 2 plus 1 minus 1. So I'm gaining 2 command. Oof. Oh, you know what though? Man, I keep forgetting this. I explored Eye of the Rock that last turn. So with engaged, I should have gotten 1 more command for that too. Okay, so I do have 3. All right. I have such a hard time remembering it, but it is so crucial. So that's the command stuff. Then I draw an ability card. It is a 5. It's cunning, coordinated repair. Each time you travel, you may pay 1 materials to repair 1 ship damage. That's pretty cool. I'm just going to hold on to that, though. Hopefully I get a cunning test and I can throw this 5 and 4 back into the deck. But now I draw the event card. We have acidic waters. That sounds bad. Pools of iridescent acid float on the sea. Take 2 ship damage. Man, can't do anything about that. And then avoid more damage with a perception test of 8. If you fail, take 4 ship damage. Wow. Maybe I should have spent those 2 coins a minute ago. Goodness gracious. So I have 2 ship damage. If I fail all this stuff, then I'll be up to 8. How much damage can the ship even hold? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, probably 10, 11. It can hold 11. 8. Oh, that would be bad though. I cannot let that happen. I'm going to have to do this perception test. We start by taking 2 ship damage. So here's the damage cubes. We got to draw to see where those go. So location 6 and location 4, and those were high numbers. That's too bad. Location 6 is the bridge. And location 4, is the galley. The galley is out of service. Sorry, nesting monster. So unfortunately, I'm definitely going to have to throw some fatigue at this perception test. I do have the Lucran goggles, and I've got 1 perception here, so that can get me up to 3 if I need it. I need 8. Kasumi's the only one with more than 1 perception, so that gets me up to 2. And potentially, this I have no problem spending this, so we'll say I'm at 3. That could be up to 5, and then I need to draw 3 or more. There's a lot of ship damage on the line, though. So this might be a good one. We'll throw Mac on it, since she doesn't usually do challenges. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, draw 2 or higher, and I'm okay. I think that's what I'm going for. We draw 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now I've got to do that to get to 8. Fine. Okay, we got past the acidic waters. These deadly events are not messing around. So what I would like to do now is travel, and I want to go north, because north of here is 23, and that is actually part of the Tides of Ruin expansion, and I don't think I've been up there before. So if I take out my reference map here, 22, 23, yeah, these all say R. All the locations start with R, so that's Tides of Ruin. So Tides of Ruin on this big map is these 2 rectangles in the northeast corner, plus the 3 southernmost pieces. So if you don't have Tides of Ruin, your map is like that. If I've done any Tides of Ruin, though, it's been here. I know I haven't been down here at all, and I know I haven't been up in this top corner here. So I may have been here before, honestly, but I don't remember. So I kind of just want to sail north and check that out. I guess my other option is I could sail south. I know I've never been here. So even though it's not Tides of Ruin, that might be cool, because I know I haven't been there. Something tells me I may have explored this part once before, and I don't really want to retread. So, okay, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go south. So that goes down to pages 10 and 11. Let's see what it looks like, so I can figure out how much movement I might want. 10 and 11. Yeah, I have not been there. That looks super cool. I would not mind checking out Alzeria. There is a test for this whole area, though. So some sort of fog. That gets you low morale, not too bad. A couple ship damage out here, though, that I would definitely want to avoid. There's a cool little town there, though, that I wouldn't mind checking out. Look at that crazy little archway. That looks, I don't know what's going on there, but that's fun. Although that seems sort of familiar, too. Have I done that? I have no idea. Maybe I'm thinking of Distant Skies. I think I would like to go to Alzeria. I don't think I've ever been here before. So that would be a distance of, we're here, go down, 1, 2. It's only a distance of 2. That's not very hard. So let's set course south and just see what we can find down there. So my first action is travel, and I can choose to either, I can just not use any fatigue, and I'll get there no matter what, even if I just draw 1. And then it would just be a low morale that I might gain, and I might just let that happen too, versus fatiguing Audrey, trying to get 9+ just to ignore that. The low morale is not that big a deal. So I'm just going to take this craft test to travel without committing any fatigue. We draw 1. That's fine. So we can travel Only one space. I need to go 2 spaces. What am I thinking? That was not very smart. So I was not using my head when I did this chart. If I had been, I probably would have used Audrey just to guarantee I could make it there. But we're going to live with it. We're going to live with it. So we come down 1. I have 2 options now. I can spend my 2 command on my Lucran steam engine, and that'll just allow me to keep going and get to Alzaria. Or I could just pause here for a minute. There's one place to explore, 97 in this little area, so I could just explore that, see what's there, and then continue on next time. I think I would rather get to Alzaria, though. That seems where the action is. Oh, there's a zoo? What? Alzaria and a zoo is its own location? Oh, we gotta go to the zoo, right? All right, fine. Spend 2 command, use the Lucran steam engine for the first time, since I bought it really early on, but haven't used it yet. When you take the travel action, add 2 to the distance. So we can go down to here. Now we have a cunning test of 5. Again, I'm not going to fatigue anyone. Let's just draw. And we get a 6. Okay, so that was good. So I don't need to gain the low morale, and I save myself a fatigue. So that's the travel action. Now, I think I want to visit Alzaria. I'll find out more about the zoo. We'll go there next time. But let's go to 190. Let's explore. And let's not forget, when I explore, I gain a command. So here's my command. And look at all this other stuff I missed. There's the zoo, but look, South Gate, Alley Markets, Lower Docks. This looks super fun. I don't think I've been here before. I feel like I would have remembered that, even though that kind of looks familiar. And something about the zoo is like jogging my memory. I don't know. But all right, let's go to 190, figure out what's going on. So 90 says, if keyword poison, turn to 190.8. That's interesting because Eye of the Rock, where we just were, also had keyword poison. So I don't know where you get poison. I don't know if you're trying to find a cure or something, or if you are poisoned. I don't know what the urgency is, but that's really interesting that these 2 cities in close proximity to each other both have you do something different if you have poison. And then there's also if keyword heist, which sounds fun. Turn somewhere else. We don't have heist. So let's continue, find out what's going on at Alzaria. The port of Alzaria stands where red desert and green sea meet. Tall clay walls keep the stacks of white houses within from spilling into the bay. Above it all, you can see rows of windmills spinning in the hot winds above the houses. Hot air balloons hang from the cliffs to the north. Oh yeah, and if you look, you can see there's the windmills, there's the hot air balloons. This place is neat. So we've got a few options besides returning to the ship. We can explore the city streets, but that'll take 1 fatigue. We can visit the Bazaar of Antiquities. That costs 2 coins, which we do have. We can help Glacia see her grandchildren, requires keyword grandchildren, or remove the ship's barnacle, requires keyword barnacle. So we don't have the keywords, but let's do the other stuff. We'll start with explore the city streets. We have to gain 1 fatigue. And we'll put the fatigue on Raphael because we're not using him for a challenge anytime soon. So that section reads, a windmill casts its long shadow across the street, and beneath it, an aged man with a small pet dragon waves to you. He cradles the tiny beast in his wrinkled hands while he tells you stories of his life. Yeah, oh boy, I'm feeling fatigued already. I used to be a shepherd, Thought it would be a quiet, gentle living, but the myth and raiders were relentless. Some shepherds still scrape out a living there. It's a beautiful place on the island to the west, near the southern shore. So the island to the west, southern shore, is almost certainly talking about this little settlement here. I bet if we go there, we can fight some Mythans and maybe gain some sort of stuff for fighting them off and help the local shepherds there. So that seems like a good thing to do. So we gain quest 108, and this reads, this is Shepherd. Shepherd in danger. An old shepherd in Alzaria told us about a settlement on the southern shore of the island to the west. He used to live there, but had to leave because of the constant Mythan attacks. Okay, that sounds like a fun thing to do. That is our priority right now. Given nothing else, we'll go there and get into combat, and that could be cool. But now we just return to the city center. We have our basic options again, and I think I'm going to visit the Bazaar of Antiquities for 2 coins. I'm curious what that's about. I'm getting more spendy with my coins this time. So this section reads, Kasumi buys a rough leather book from one of the street merchants. This journal details an expedition to an ancient palace of the gods, hidden in the mountains on the island to the west, she says. Gain quests 107 and 109. So here's 107 and 109. 107 is Expedition Journal. Kasumi's journal maps an expedition starting on the northern coast of the island west of Alzeria, so maybe up here at 97, could be 209, and it leads through the desert to a palace of the gods in the mountains. So yeah, it really could be either of those. And then 109. This is just a keyword, not ongoing. This is old journal. Kasumi purchased a journal in the streets of Alzeria. It details an expedition to find an ancient palace of the gods. So that sounds neat. Not as fun as Shepherd. I'm going to make that my second priority. Shepherd, Ambrosia, Freighter, and Cap. And then we've got this keyword journal, which I will just throw here. I don't know where that might be used. But then we just return to the regular city center. We don't have any of the other keywords. There's nothing else we can do. So I'm going to call that the end of that turn. So I think that was pretty interesting. I would definitely like to come back and explore all of this stuff. Man. Zoo, South Gate, Alley Markets, and Lower Docks. I would take 2 full turns of just explore actions, not to mention you've got to do a travel in there too. So you can just explore Alzeria all day. And I mean, that sounds fun, but the game does have an end at some point. So the next turn starts now. I'm going to take a ship action, draw an event, and then I think I want to swing over here to 73 and explore it and see if I can knock out this Shepherd quest, which probably has a combat, which I haven't done yet today. And I don't think I need to go to sick bay. That doesn't make any sense. I could go do the deck and do that search action again, but I'm not really that interested in it. I'd rather get more command tokens, clear a couple command tokens, get an ability card. That's all better than doing the search action again right now. So I will go to the quarters. I can remove 2 command tokens. There's none on any crew. And then here I've got 1 and 2 here. So I'll take this one to clear the Lucran goggles and 1 off the steam engine, which is kind of unusual to have 1 on the steam engine, but that, keeps it blocked from me using it, but at least they've been removed. And then I would gain 3, but because of the spider webs, I only gain 2. So I do get to keep these. So I've got 3 command, draw an ability card. It is a strength ability. It's a level 4 fate. Discard this card to redraw fate. But it costs 2 command to equip. There's no way I'm going to equip it. I would like to get all 3 of these back into the deck, really. So now we draw our event. This is parasites. Maddening parasites are infecting the crew. Ongoing. Oof, these ongoing ones are killing me. Ooh, this one's rough too. Each time you cook a recipe, draw fate. If 1 to 4, gain 1 madness. And then there's an action on it. Perform a savvy challenge of 8. If you succeed, discard this card and gain 1 XP. Man, I'm gonna have to do that. But you know what? If I travel and explore, I can maybe get through a combat, and then I can, on the next turn, use one of my actions to deal with that card before cooking a recipe. But like Nesting Monster, this one won't go away until we do the test. So we need to do the test. I'm just in a position right now where, that only affects when you cook a recipe, and I don't think I'll cook a recipe this turn. Yeah, strength test, savvy test. I wish one of them was a cunning test. But I should be able to get past this one. Let's proceed with traveling and exploring. So let's do the travel action first. I will fatigue Audrey. So here's a fatigue. Ideally, I won't get any ship damage. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to draw a 3 or higher to not have to deal with this. Am I going to fatigue anybody else? I don't think so. No. So let's just hope I draw 3 or higher. We draw 5. That'll do it. So my total is 11. That's greater than 9. So I can go up to 4 spaces and ignore hazards. So we're going 1, 2 spaces, ignore the hazard, and I'm going to stop traveling there. And now I'm going to explore. And when I explore with engaged, ooh, man, all my ability cards are going to go away at the end of this act. I forgot. That's going to be hard. I gain a command token. Ooh, that realization is a painful one. Okay, so I'm exploring 73. So this location reads, if keyword shepherd, turn to 73.3. That's a keyword we have. That's why we're here. So let's go to that section and read. A few round clay houses sit near the shore like a collection of turtle eggs tucked into the sand. Shepherds work nearby, the unsuspecting prey of a narrow Mythan ship that has just landed on the beach. Mythans attack some shepherds nearby. So we can defend the shepherds from the raiders, which is a combat. I think that's what I'll do. Otherwise, we can sneak aboard the Mythen ship and rob it. Oh, that's interesting. That is a perception test of 9, though. That sounds pretty fun, but I'm going to go into combat. This is combat against cards 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't know. I think we fought 4 before in this playthrough. 4 enemies at once. That is a lot, though. The mat can hold 5. I don't recall ever fighting 5. May have happened. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I don't remember from this game, but oh boy. This is what I chose, though. I mean, I've got full health. I'm in pretty good shape. And we're going into combat, so we gain, is that 1 command? No, it's 2 command. Gain 2 command at the start of combat. Good. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. They came out in the order 2, 1, 3, 4. Sure, so we've got our Mythens, Mythen Guard, Mythen Brute, Mythen Slayer, and Mythen Chief. There's nothing too wild here, I don't think. Their attacks are all at 3, defenses 5, 6, 5, 6. Here's 1 extra damage, 2 extra damage. Here's a single 2 damage, 2 damage here, and then adjacent deal plus 2 damage. So we'll want to take care of that. But really, none of this is looking too out of control, I don't think. So let's gain 2 command from the captain's level card. So that is really helpful because now that gives me a lot of access to these different effects here to gain some more accuracy or to do some blocking. So let's add up all the hearts here out of curiosity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I don't think I can do that much damage unless I use this Stone of Fitness. Remove a combat token from a crew member and use it again. In 5 turns, I bet I can do 16 damage. And I think I might like to start... well, I don't know if I want to start with Captain Odessa. I think I want to have Captain Odessa go and have Audrey follow, because Captain Odessa can do 4 damage to this Mythen Guard, which will just take him out completely. And there'll be 1 synergy token, which she could give to Audrey, and that allows you to place damage diagonally. So Audrey can also do 4 damage to this Mythen Slayer and do 1, 2, 3, 4, and take that out in 1 hit as well, and then pass on this 1 damage token to somebody else. But to aid in that, maybe I start with Mac, who could give the captain more accuracy, because she's got a lot of accuracy. She can do 2 damage to either one of these 2. Ooh, but wait. Okay, this is coming together. If I can have Kasumi go, let's have Kasumi attack this Mythen Brute, right? She's got high accuracy. She does 3 damage, 1, 2, 3 down the middle, takes out the Brute, gets a synergy token, give that to Audrey. Have the captain go. She's got a hit, so I might need Mac to go in between. But if the captain goes, she can, again, take out this guard, get a synergy token, give this to Audrey, and then when Audrey goes, then she'll have both these tokens, and if she can hit, and maybe I have Mac go before that too. If Mac, I'm just going to load up Audrey. If Mac can go, she can definitely hit this one, do 2 damage, 1, 2. Maybe I use the Bloodstone before that to cover this last heart so she can take out this one. And then Audrey would be last. She would have all these tokens, so she would have extra accuracy to try and hit this one. And if she does, she can do her 4 plus 1 damage, 5 damage with diagonal. She can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and clear that one too. And then I wouldn't even need to use that Stone of Fitness. And that means I have all that command to give myself extra accuracy to make sure I get those hits. So yeah, I like that. Let's pursue that plan. That'll be nice to start using all of these adventure cards in combat. I think that's great. So Kasumi, you're up first. You're going to use your twin daggers. So you've got 4 accuracy, doing 3 damage. You're attacking this Mythen Brute. All you need to draw is a 2 or higher. You draw 4. Awesome. So you do 3 damage, 1, 2, 3. That just clears this guy out. And you do get 1 synergy. So we're going to put that on Audrey. Cool. Next, Captain Odessa. Are you next? I guess so. Captain Odessa is going for this Mythen Guard, who's got 5 block. So we need to, she's only got 1 accuracy, so she's going to draw 4 or higher. She draws a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 1 more accuracy. So let's Put a command here on these gemstone goggles to give me 2 more accuracy. That's enough. 4 damage now to the Myth and Guard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Takes him out. I get a synergy. We're putting it on Audrey. That Myth and Guard is gone. Okay, next up is Mac, I believe. Oh, wait a minute, but Mac's not going to have enough to take out. How was I thinking Mac was going to do this? I think I was planning on Mac also doing this one, which doesn't make any sense. Okay, I've confused myself a little, but there's got to be a way out of it. Yeah, you know what? I'll have Audrey go next, and then she can pass her token on to probably to the captain. So Audrey's going to go next. She's going to attack this Myth and Chief. She's got 1 accuracy. She needs to get up to 6. So draw 5 plus 1 is 6. That's great. I didn't even have to use a command. So she's got enough. She's going to use both synergy tokens to do 1 extra damage. So 5 damage, and to place damage diagonally. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That takes out the Myth and Chief and gets 1 synergy token. And she's going to give that to the captain. And the captain will go last, so you can use single character up to 2 times. So the captain will attack this Myth and Slayer. Again, she's got 1 accuracy, 5 block here, so we want to draw at least a 4. We get a 3, so we're a little low again. 3, 4, spend a command here, 5, 6. We've got enough. She could do 4 plus 1 damage, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Combat is over. So we didn't take a single hit. That was pretty cool. That panned out. That was nice. that was good. That felt good. Definitely easier than some of the other combats we saw so far. Also, apologies if you can hear it. I don't think so. I don't think it's loud enough, but there's some light construction work going on in the neighborhood and some next door, so hopefully the mic's not picking it up. If you hear any faint sounds in the background, it's just the construction. It is not the myth and warriors running around. So we're done with the combat. Let's go and see what the results are. So the book reads, "The shepherds look as though this isn't the first time they've been raided. Why don't you live somewhere less dangerous?" asks Audrey. "My father settled this ranch. No myth and thugs are going to chase us away," responds one of the shepherds, an older Lucran with a bandaged leg, leaning his weight on a crooked cane. He digs into a leather satchel and drops a carved statue into your hand. So gain 8 coins. Yeah, I am rich, baby. 8 coins. What a combat that was. Plus 1 grain and 1 artifact. Haven't gotten an artifact in a while. Nice. And we gain 3 XP. So that is 6 XP for me, 1 more, and I can get Kanan's Crackshot upgrade. And then we complete Quest 108 and return to the ship. So I think that was well worth it. That was pretty good. I'm not going to cook any recipes before returning to the ship because of this Parasites ongoing event. But is there anything else I want to do before the turn wraps up? Do I want to... I have no, if I had even 1 health damage, then I would use that first aid kit to remove this weakness and restore a health, but I don't need to. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 total fatigue. That's not too bad. I don't really know how I want to spend this last turn. So if I had some ideas, that might tell me if I'm going to spend something. I guess I'm not going to spend any command. I'm going to hold on to it because it's still hard to come by with this, with spider webs, which will go away soon. So I start my next turn. I'm going to go up to the bridge and remove all of the command tokens from adventure cards and characters. That's it. It's just these 3. Then I gain 2, plus 1, minus 1 fatigue. Not fatigue, command. So here's 2 command. All right, so I'm still up to 6 command. That's good, especially considering the spider webs. And I draw an ability card too, getting towards the end of that deck. So, this is a 1. I definitely want to hold on to this. And I want to hold it into the next act so that I can equip it and keep this 1 out of the deck. So this is Bandage, instant effect, restore 2 health to this crew member. And it is a savvy type, so I'll probably put it on Gregory or Laurent. So I want to keep that in mind. I might be wanting to have 1 injury on one of them in order to use its effect. So I've got to discard a card. Let's put the 5 back in the deck, which is getting ready to reshuffle. Keep that. Okay. How many left do we have here? 2. Only 2 of these left. So this will likely reshuffle. This will definitely reshuffle before the 3rd act starts. So when Act 3 starts and all my 1s and 2s come out of here, they won't be in the deck for a while. Just something to keep track of here. All right, so now it's time for the event. The last deadly event in Act 2. This is Cargo Fungus. Toxic fungus grows in the cargo bay, hiding within crates and beneath shelves, spreading slowly. Ongoing. Turn end, draw fate. If it's 4 or higher, you just draw fate. If it's not 4 or higher, you discard 1 food. Action, perform a Perception 7 challenge. Come on. And if you succeed, discard this card. So I have got all of these ongoing event cards, and frankly, they're killing me because only Spiderwebs is going to go away. So I don't care that much about Nesting Monster, but I got to get rid of these two. I think that's what I'm doing this time, is taking these 2 actions. I got to do a big Savvy test and a big Perception test. So this is not my favorite way to spend a turn, but I'm going to start with, let's get rid of Parasites. That's a Savvy test of 8. So I'm definitely going to put Gregory on it and Laurent. So we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Savvy. And I'm going to need to do a Perception test after this. So who is Kasumi's Perception? Ooh, that's going to hurt her attacking. Yuck. Same thing with Mac. The captain's got 1 Perception. I'm not very good at Perception. I got to get to 7. Oh, but I've got the Lucran goggles too, so that's important. So that could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I might. Okay, I'm just trying to think. I don't want to double people up. So I've got Gregory and Laurent right now. What did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I need to get to 8. So let's throw Kanan on there too. So now we're at 6, and I need to get to 8. I drew a 4. Okay, so Kanan was overkill, but I passed the test. So if you succeed, discard this card and gain 1 XP. So at least I get an XP on this one. So that gets me up to 7 XP, which is enough. Next time I go to port, Kanan's getting crack shot. Cool. And now for action number 2, I'm going to do the test on this cargo fungus. So this is a Perception 7. I've got to do 1 for Kasumi. So she's got 2. The goggles can get me to 4. So let's put the captain on it too. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6, 7. All right. We get a 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I do have to use that in order to pass. So if you succeed, discard this card. So that was 2 actions. That was a short, not awesome turn. I could activate some of this stuff, and I might want to use a recipe. And I think I do. I think I'm going to use the Elzarian cookbook, and I'm going to do grilled fish. So I'm just going to spend 1 meat. Now I can heal 3 health. Nobody's got any lost health. I can take care of 1 low morale, so I'll finally get this off of Raphael. And then I can heal, or I can remove 3 fatigue. So we got to get this one off Kasumi. And then what tests might we be performing? Let's be prepared for craft and savvy. Actually, I don't need that one off Audrey. I might need a cunning test. It could be perception too. Man. I can't remove any more fatigue. I can move one of these around. Let me put this back on Audrey. I don't know if that's the one I'm going to remove. I'm prepared for a savvy test. I took 1 off Kasumi because I don't want her to have low damage, but she's my perception person. If I do another perception test, then her damage is going to be low. Captain Odessa is my only person for cunning, and she's kind of the jack of all trades here. She's got all the icons if I need them, and I don't want her damage to be too high either. I might need to do a second recipe, honestly. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this meat back. I'm going to put the low morale back. I'm going to, instead of making grilled fish, I'm going to do porridge and spend this 1 grain. So the only difference is this would heal 2 health. Doesn't matter. I've got all my health. And I still get 3 command tokens, or 3 fatigue tokens back, but the low morale is going to stay. So I'm going to take this off Kasumi. Boy. I still kind of want to do another recipe to get more fatigue off, but I think I'm going to wait because we're at the end of the act, and there might be more reason to do recipes after the end of the act. I might need to heal up, but I would argue that at this point we've reached the end of the event deck, right, on that turn. So this one, the Spiderwebs is ongoing. Discard this card when you reach the end of the event deck. So I think Spiderwebs can go away now, and we can begin the Act 2 finale. So it still starts like a regular turn. I take a ship action. I'm going to go to quarters, And so I'm going to remove 2 command tokens, this one off these goggles, and I think my only other one out there is this one off the cookbook. And now I gain 3 command. So here's 1, 2, and I gain a third. So I've got a lot of command. That's really good. And now I need to grab an ability card. So I've got to go do a big wash shuffle of these on the floor. Okay, so these are good and shuffled, but I'll do a couple more little shuffles here just to demo. Okay, so now I need to draw 1 ability card. Here, let's just do that. And it's a 4, it's a strength. What is this? +1 damage if this crew member has 3 or more damage. I guess I'd rather keep this than this, but they're really pretty similar. Not in their effect, but that they're both strength cards of value 4 that cost 2 command. So I've just reshuffled the deck. We know we're in the finale of the act. When the act is over, we're going to have to remove all of the ability cards. And so that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. That means going into Act 3, we've got mostly higher numbers. We've removed a lot of 1s and 2s, but that means all these cards that are equipped that I generally want, we're going to have to get through this whole deck again before I might find them again to re-equip them. So kind of a double-edged sword there. So, all right, I've taken the ship action. Now, event deck depleted. This is the second time. Read story 1.2. So the storybook here reads, on a blood-red horizon, the silhouette of a ship appears. It approaches, quick and angry, and soon you hear the battle roar of its crew, a mass of creatures with bull heads and eyes like embers. The Mythans have found you. Your ship shudders as they leap onto the deck. An armored Mythan lunges over the gunwale. His 4 arms wield a rusty pike, a curved saber, a trident, and a flail. He stands at twice the height of the others, who await his orders while brandishing myriad weapons of cruelty. The giant Mythan flares his nostrils and snorts at you. You will not awaken Orphash. We will kill you and drop your bones into the deepest abyss. So the Mythans have been hunting you since you escaped, and now they've found you. So these are the Mythans from the very introduction that had first captured us. We escaped, they've been hunting us down, now they've caught up with us. I think thematically it's pretty funny, just as a coincidence that we just fought off a bunch of Mythans, and like they, maybe one of them escaped or something and told the other Mythans, like, hey, I found your crew, they're over here. So we can either fight the Mythans or ask why they don't want the god Orphash to awaken. And that is a cunning test of 8. I don't think I'm willing to take a cunning test of 8, and frankly, that is not a question I want answered, because I'm trying to wake the gods, and I'm not going to let these Mythans get in my way. So we're just going to go straight to the combat. And it's actually going to be really similar to the combat we just did, because that was cards 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we have cards 1, 2, 4, 5. So I assume the 5 is the one that was described as having 4 arms and being sort of the captain. So I think this will be a bit tougher than the last combat. But man, we made short work of those Mythans the last time, so I'm feeling pretty good. We've got combat tokens. We're going into combat, so I still do gain 2 command tokens. So we're going to have a ton of tokens. Oh, there's the Crusher, the 4-armed Crusher. Okay. And the Mythan Chief here on the right is the one with the adjacent deal +2 damage. I'm glad that wasn't on the Crusher, who's got a lot of damage. He does 3 by default and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. So we'll have to do something about that. But here's the 2 command tokens that I gain. I'll definitely be making use of some of that. And we'll get the combat components back out. All right, and we've got all this command. I'll almost certainly make use of Stone of Fitness to get 5 rounds in instead of 4 before the counterattack round. So how do I want to go about this? How much health does this guy have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be tough for one person to do, I think. My highest damages are 4. So even if they got all the combat tokens, 5, 6, 7, nobody's doing 8 damage. I guess I could combine it with that Bloodstone. It would be pretty sick to one-shot this guy, I've got to say. But that means all 3 of these people would have to attack, and because Audrey's one of them, they would all have to give their tokens to the captain. And so how would that work? If Audrey goes, I would have her attack this Mythan guard, do 4 damage, get a synergy token, take out the guard. Kasumi would do 3 damage, could take out this Mythan brute, get a token. But Laurent, he would have to attack then this Mythan chief. He's got 6 defense. Laurent's got 0 accuracy, so that doesn't seem like a good fit. And he would only do 2 damage. And so what I might do instead, give these 2 to the captain, then let the captain attack this Mythan chief and do, let's see, I guess it wouldn't matter who she attacks, either one of these, but do 4 plus 2 damage. That's 6. And if these two guys are gone, then she could do 1, 2, 3 across the top, and then 4, 5, 6. So then neither of them is hitting that hard. And at that point, Kasumi could go again and take out the Myth in Chief. That wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take them all out in the first round, even with the Stone of Fitness, but I think I can do some damage. So I'm going to have Kasumi start. And she's going to attack this Myth and Brute. She's got 4 accuracy with her twin daggers. She's trying to get to 6. All right, that's enough. 3 plus 4 is 7. So she does 3 damage. She's going to go right down the middle. That takes out the Brute and gains 1 synergy token, which she will give to the captain, I think is what I said. Then I will have Audrey go next. And she's going to attack this Myth and Guard. She's got 1 accuracy with her Myth and Axe. Use that axe on the Mythins. That's funny. And then she needs to get to 5. So we need to draw 4 or higher. She draws a 2. So that gets her to 3 accuracy. She needs 2 more. So we'll put a command on these gemstone goggles. That gets us to 5. She does 4 damage. She gets the synergy, takes out the Myth and Guard. So we're going to give that synergy token to the captain, who is now a powerhouse. And then I'm going to have the captain attack this Myth in Chief next. And I thought about first using command on this Bloodstone to cover up this 2 damage spot. But if I instead just do this and do a block with the Pan Shield, that'll use the same amount of command, but I'll actually come out ahead on health when you work it all out. So I'm going to have the captain attack next. She's got 1 accuracy. She needs to get to 6, so she's got to draw 5 or higher. Oh, and she draws a 5. Awesome. So she can do 4 damage, plus spend these 2 tokens to do 6 damage now, which I will do thusly. I'll hit the head, then cover up this adjacent deal plus 2 damage in the end of round. Cover that up. 3, that's a synergy token, so we need to place that somewhere. And then I'll do some splash damage there, and there, and there. So this Myth and Crusher does 3 less damage now, which is great. So at least half my damage is on the Myth and Chief, so we're okay. So now it counterattacks at 3, 4, 5. She's going to block 1, so that's 4 damage. And I'll use a command token here. She's already got a fatigue, so I'm not going to use the charm. I'll use Pan Shield to block 2 more. So if the 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3 is blocked, she takes 2 hits. That is very reasonable. All right, so assuming I spend 3 command on Stone of Fitness, then I can have 2 attacks left. How do I want to do this? Kasumi can easily take out this Myth and Chief in 1 hit, but then if I have 1 more, if I spend 3 command, I can take 1 more crack at this Myth and Crusher before the end of the round, and I'm going to have Audrey do that. I'm going to give her this synergy token that I just earned because she can do 4 damage on the Crusher and go 1, 2, diagonal, 3, 4 to cover up that 2 damage spot and get another synergy token out, which she can give that to Kasumi, and Kasumi can wipe the Crusher. Great. Okay, I've got a plan. So I'm having Kasumi go next. She's going to go for a second time right now and attack this Myth and Chief with her twin dagger. She's got 4 accuracy, needs to get up to 6. She draws a 6. That's plenty. So she does 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. Takes out the Myth and Chief. That guy's gone. Oh, did she get a synergy for that? 1, 2, 3. No, she did not. Okay. So this would normally be the counterattack phase, but I will spend 3 command on the Stone of Fitness, remove a combat token from a crew member and use it again. So it doesn't matter which one I remove. Let's take this one off Audrey and then use it again with Audrey. So she's got 1 accuracy, needs to draw a 5 or higher. She draws a 3, 4. We need to get up to 6. So let's put this on the Amulet of the Fox. She is at 6. She does 4 damage, and we'll spend the token so she can do it diagonally. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, synergy token, and 4. So she'll give her synergy token to Kasumi. Now the Myth and Crusher counterattacks with only 3 damage, and she blocks 1. So I'm not even going to use another command. I'm just going to take the 2 damage. And now that was the end of the round. So we're going to take our cubes back, our combat tokens, and then this Myth and Crusher gets to counterattack now in the enemy's attack phase. So it's just going to do 3 damage. It has no other abilities to do. So we're going to go ahead and throw that on Raphael. I think that was obvious. And now we go into the next round. I'm going to attack with Kasumi. So again, she's got 4 accuracy, needs to draw a 2 or higher. She draws a 5, that'll do it. So she's going to do 3 damage plus 1 with the synergy token. 1, 2, 3, 4. That takes out the Mythen Crusher. So I think we did very well in that combat. We did use a lot of command tokens, but I'm sure I'll start the next act by going to the bridge, get those all back off. So I think it'll be okay. And I mean, given we're at the end of the act, like look at what our health looks like. We're in awesome shape. So I think that was a excellent use of command tokens. So let's put the combat stuff away and return to the book. The remaining Mythans grunt in defeat and return to their ship, sailing into darkness. Make a new event deck with unused event cards from the box, and on your journey log, mark that you have been through the second event deck. Now, all crew members must discard any ability cards that they have equipped, and all level cards remain. Return to the ship. So, okay, we've been through the deck a second time. We need to make a new event deck, and so here are the events we have not used yet. There we go. So we're going to need 6 of each. Again, give each one a quick little shuffle. Should be plenty shuffled already, though. And build our Act 3 deck. Whoopsie. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just to make sure that's right, it should be 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Great. There's our new event deck right there. That'll be for Act 3. The rest of these, we just won't see this playthrough. And we have to remove all of our ability cards. A 2, a 5. Oh, man, that awesome card. When you explore, gain a command. I'll have to get that again. These are level cards. There's an ability card. There's one. There's a couple. So these are all out. Okay. What else do we do now? Well, we've returned to the ship, so we still have a couple actions we can take. And so let me reveal something to you. Here is the map of the Wandering Sea. And I said these are part of the Tides of Ruin expansion, as are these 2 rectangles up here. And if you look around at the map, you know, they've got these arrows at the end of the page to tell you where to go to, or there's no number in it if there's nowhere to go. This page up here, this top right corner, is in a separate book. It's in the Tides of Ruin book. And I noticed that it has no arrows on it. I don't know how to get in here. I have no idea how to get here. Maybe there are other ways to get here, but there is a port. And I found this gate stone. So, that's not a gate stone. That is. I found this gate stone. I'm going to use it to go to this port. I don't know if there's another way to even get there. And so maybe this is a bad idea, but my intent for Act 3 is to run around at least this part a little bit, because I've never had the chance before, and I'm really excited to find out what's going on there. So, we're gonna jump from Elzaria, even though that looks really cool. We've done some fun stuff there. I'm going to jump up here to Isle of Souls. So to do that, for action, well, this isn't even an action. I'm just going to spend 3 command, all my command, to move to any port. And I'm going to jump from here. Close the normal atlas, the regular Sleeping Gods atlas. Go to the Tides of Ruin atlas. And it is the last page. So this is very exciting for me. I definitely have not been up here before. And like I said, there may be, I always suspected there was some like regular way to get in, but now that I've got this gate stone, like let's hit it. For all I know, that's the only way to get in. So we're going to this port, and now we are in uncharted waters for sure. So for action 1, I am going to explore, and I'm exploring location R59. Unfortunately, I don't gain anything. I don't gain any command for exploring anymore, but I'm real excited to find out what's in here. And so I actually put away the standard storybook now that we've been using, and I turned to the Tides of Ruin storybook, which is not quite as long, but it's got its own stuff. So let's find out what I have done. We are at the Isle of Souls. The book reads, spectral villagers wander through clay houses and broken monuments. A ghost woman nods her head at you. Lost souls are welcome to hide here, she says. You arrive at a ghost village. You can speak to a ghost girl crying near the dock. That sounds rough. We can buy an artifact at a shop with a sign that says Afterlife Treasures. So we would pay a coin to gain an artifact. I wonder how many times we can do that. Could I just get 8 artifacts right now? Because an artifact is worth 2 coins. I might have to check the rulebook on that. And then we can visit the broken monument of a headless horse in the town square. But before we choose, I did find what I was looking for here, page 36 in the rulebook, exploring a town or city. Some stories start with a town or city name in bold. In this case, the story structure often allows you to select all of the various choices in the same visit one by one. You may not, however, select the same choice more than once during each explore action at the town city. So basically, every time we explore Isle of Souls, we can trade a coin for an artifact. But I can't just do that over and over again within the same visit. So I will do that. I'll spend 1 coin to gain 1 artifact because that is a great deal. Okay, and I'll do that every time that I return here from now on. But in the meantime, let's pick a different option. Let's speak to the ghost girl crying near the dock. Okay, let's see what this says. Kasumi approaches the crying ghost while Raphael protests. Captain, we've got to get out of this place. Semi-transparent souls trot by, one of them walking through Raphael. Kasumi kneels down to speak to the girl. What's wrong? The girl looks up. She's missing one of her eyes, and a dark wound stretches down to her jawbone. Kasumi barely flinches. My father came here looking for me, but he didn't recognize me. I tried to talk to him, but he ignored me. Why would he do that? He kept calling my name over and over. Sansha, Sansha. I said I was here, but he didn't see. He couldn't hear me. She lets out an unearthly wail, dropping her head in her lap. Kasumi tries to place a hand on her, but it falls right through the poor girl's body. Take heart, little one. Do you know where he went? Perhaps we can find him together. The ghost girl perks up, sniffling. He left on a boat, heading east with barely any provisions and nothing but a rusty sailor's knife. I'm worried he'll be killed. Raphael and Marco mutter their disapproval from behind. So we can either invite Sansha to travel with you as you search for her father, or tell Sansha you can't help her. Yeah, let's invite her. This sounds neat. So we turn to the next session. Sansha nods, sniffling and wiping away stray tears. I'm happy to go with you. It's better than this sorry place. Raphael and Marco each gain 1 low morale. Well, lucky for me, I did not clear Raphael's low morale. He was already of low morale, so can't get any lower. Gain adventure card 104 and quest 209. So here are those cards. Let's see, adventure card 104 is Sansha the Ghost, and she can redraw fate. That's pretty cool. So she's going to be joining us. She's a passenger. And quest 209, this is keyword Merc. We're looking for Sansha's father. We met a ghost girl in the Isle of Souls and invited her to come with us and look for her father. Her father, still alive, is looking for her in a boat headed east. So that's kind of tough. East from here could be up to 61 or 67, or it could be down here through 46 or more likely 72. I doubt it's all the way straight east, but I suppose it could be. So we've got a few places we could go. That is what I'm wanting to do most right now. We'll add Sansha the Ghost Girl to our passengers. And yeah, so I think it's really interesting. We're at this city of ghosts in an area that I don't think connects to anywhere else in the Wandering Sea, as far as I know. So I'm questioning exactly where we are. This is pretty interesting. But we return to the main port of location 59. And so the only other thing I could do here is visit the broken monument of a headless horse in the town square. And I think I would like to do that. Sounds very creepy. And so we go to that location and it says if keyword pachyderm, frazzled, or palming turn to 59.8. We don't have any of those keywords. So instead we'll keep reading. A frazzled woman scribbles on a scrap of paper. You're alive, says Gregory, poking her arm. She counters with a sneer. Don't touch me. Yes, I'm alive, for now. But I've done something bad. Oh yes, very bad. Now go away. So we could just bid farewell. We could walk away. We could convince her to tell us what she did. That is a cunning test of 6. And And if we fail, we just go back to the main port. Or we could steal from the woman. I don't know why we do that. That is a perception test of 12. I don't think I'm ready for that test. So let's do the cunning test of 6, I suppose. I'm going to need to rest at some point here, but because we're getting pretty fatigued. I'm going to put the captain on it, so that takes her damage down some. So we have cunning of 2. I have this card that I could discard. I don't have anything else out here for cunning, though. And I don't have any command anyway. So I just have to draw 3 or higher, ideally a 4 or higher. So I don't love that. Let's improve my odds a little bit. We'll include Kasumi. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and potentially a 4th. We need 6 cunning. Let's draw. We draw 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I don't need to discard. So let's turn to the next section. The woman sits down on the ground, cross-legged, bidding you to do the same. If you want to hear the full story, then sit. When I found the entrance to the underworld, I couldn't believe my luck. Okay, well, I guess that answers that question. We're in the underworld. I recruited some scholars and treasure hunters from Alzaria, and we started hunting for treasure. We entered the great tower to the east, where a dark creature, an elephant with golden tusks, trapped us. I barely escaped, but I left everyone there, and now I don't know what to do. I can't save them by myself, but I don't want to leave them. Ooh, that sounds cool. So, okay, now we know we're in the underworld, and she recruited a bunch of people from Alzaria. That was the last city that we went to just a couple turns ago. That was really cool. So maybe we'll end up back there again, too. But we can offer to help the woman save her colleagues. We can steal from her. That option's still on the table with the perception test. Or we could bid farewell. Let's offer to help. Do we want to help her save her colleagues? Let's read that paragraph. The woman shares a weak grin, mumbling to herself. I suppose we might try to rescue them together. We're all likely to die a gruesome death, just so you know what you're getting into. Gain adventure card 126, quests 210 and 212. All right, things are happening here. So the adventure card is Thrusiana. So she's another passenger. She's going to join Sunsha, the ghost girl. Is it me or do they look kind of similar? Their hair is very different, and obviously the eyes. Hopefully they're not the same person in 2 different time periods or something. All right, quest 210, Frazzled. Frazzled woman. We met a frazzled woman in the town square on the Isle of Souls. There's nothing to do here. It's just a keyword we hold on to. 212 is pachyderm. Thrusiana's crew. We met a woman in the Isle of Souls named Thrusiana. We promised to help her rescue her crew from an elephant with golden tusks. She said they're in the dark tower to the east, but she can't remember exactly where. So I'm guessing that's this, but maybe the point is it could be any of these, and she doesn't remember where. But this is the largest tower anyway, so we're going over there somewhere. So I think we're probably going to try and swing around this way, looking for Sancha's father. Hopefully down here at 72 would be my guess. And then we'll go up around here. And we'll just try and explore everything we can, because I might never be back here again. So I'm just going to set these cards for now down here, and I will rearrange another time. So that is it for that explore action, and we have 1 action left. And, there's a market here. I could explore 99 would be cool, but I think for my last action, I am just going to go to the port. I'm going to spend 4 coins. I'm going to spend actual coins, not artifacts. So here's 1 coin and change to remove from each crew member a fatigue and up to 2 damage tokens. So Audrey's back to normal. Gregory was already good. Kanan's good. Kasumi's good. The captain's going to have 1 fatigue remaining. Laurent's back to full. Mac is back to full. Raphael's got 1 damage left. We've got a couple of low morales out there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fatigue and 6 health. I think that was a good use of 4 coins. And then while we're here, I'm going to spend some XP. So here's the sheet, and I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all we had. I'm spending all 7 to get, at long last, went right by it. Crack shot for Kanan. So combat's been going good. Now it's going to go better. All right, Kanan is leveled up. That's it for the port action, and that is it for my actions in this video. So that was the exciting conclusion of Act 2. I've got one act to go. I expect that to be 3 more videos, unless things go catastrophic with this golden tusked elephant. But yeah, we have now entered into Tides of Ruin. We're apparently in the underworld. That's a super cool place to be. I want to explore this in Act 3. I want to hit really all of these locations just to see what's going on, and who knows where this is going to end. So if you're enjoying this series and you've made it this far, then maybe you would like to join the folks that are listed here on the screen and head over to my Ko-fi page. That is ko-fi, and make a contribution to the channel. That can be for as little as $1, either one time or recurring monthly. That's the only way I can keep making these videos that apparently you are enjoying, because you are 5 videos into this series. But if you do make a monthly recurring donation, then you'll be on the reserved seating list. And if you're looking to get the Table for One Head of the Table award, then that is for the top 10 contributors over the last 90 days at time of editing. So thank you to everyone who has supported Table for One. I very much appreciate it. But I had a great time playing Sleeping Gods today. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm really excited to see what's in store for us in Act 3, and I'll see you there. Take it easy.